We've talked about on this podcast how there's a handful of guys who over the last 10 years have unfortunately been overshadowed by Messi and Ronaldo and their exploits. But you sort of take a step back and look at their careers, guys like Aguero, Benzema, Suarez, Lewandowski, and you realize that it's pretty transcendently great careers too. It's just that, when you score, when you score 25 league goals, it doesn't seem as impressive when there's a guy in the same league that scores 45. Messi and Ronaldo just produced numbers that it made everybody else seem not as impressive by comparison. But still, I mean, Sergio Agüero, highest scoring foreigner in Premier League history, fourth all-time leading scorer in Premier League history, and third leading scorer in Argentina history behind Messi and Batista. And you forget that he had this whole first part of his career at Atletico Madrid, where he scored more than 100 goals for that club and helped them win the Europa League. So just a terrific career all the way around.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that cracked the code. The most difficult thing to do in our sport is put the ball in the back of the net. And here's somebody that did it consistently everywhere he went with incredible numbers. Like you said, he did it in the age and time of Messi and Ronaldo, and therefore it was probably not celebrated to the extent that it should have been. But he understands that, and I think he's getting his due. I think Pep was there for his goodbye, and it's a pity. It's a pity that it ended like this. But in a sense, we're glad they caught it, and he can go on and do some big things. But he will forever be remembered as a great goal scorer. I think mostly he will be tied to the EPL and what he did there because of the volume, the importance, the panache and style in which he did it. And here's hoping that we have others like him coming. But man, oh man, what a goal scorer.
He's a guy who, in terms of his style of play, short, stocky striker, has drawn a lot of comparisons to Romario, who I know is one of your favorites who you play against. Do you see that when you watch Sergio Agüero? Do you kind of see why people see the Romario similarity?
I see it in the transfer of weight and the low center of gravity that they have. That's beguiling to so many, and in particular big guys like myself. And there is a grace certainly in it, but it is backed up with a power and a force. It's some of it's muscular, some of it's up here in the head, but it's the combination of all of that make it just so difficult to mark players like him.
It's funny to think on the topic of Brazilian comparisons with him. He played in the 2007 Under-20 World Cup in Canada. And I happened to be in Canada that summer, so I went to some games in that tournament. And that was a tournament, by the way, where the U.S. performed very well. Freddie Adu was sensational. Yeah. But the big debate going into that tournament was Aguero versus Pato. They were like the two teenage phenoms. And people in Brazil were convinced that Pato was better. And it's fair to say we lost out on that one.
You like that clip? Well, my State of the Union podcast drops every week. Subscribe now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.